Let's be real for a second. Have you ever bought something nice, looked at it, and had that tiny little doubt in the back of your mind? Is this actually the real deal? In a world that's getting absolutely flooded with fakes, that question of what's authentic, well, it's never been more important. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty incredible new way to prove what's real. And just to give you an idea of how big this problem is, just look at this number. $4.5 trillion. That's how big the global counterfeit market is. I mean, that's a mind-blowing figure that touches everything from brand reputations to, honestly, our own safety. So that brings us to the big question, right? In a world where it's so easy to fake things, how do we build real, solid trust? What would it actually take to create a system where you know without a shadow of a doubt that the thing you're holding in your hand is genuine? Okay, so to find that answer, we've got to look at why the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. We're in a full-blown crisis of trust, really, because the traditional security methods we've all been leaning on for years, they're failing. They just can't keep up. And this failure is super specific. It's not just about physical fakes. It's about our digital trust, too. Passwords. It turns out compromised credentials are the #1 reason for data breaches. And every single time it happens, it costs a company almost $5 million on average. Our simple password system has become a massive weak spot. So, if the old foundation is full of cracks, we obviously need a new one. And it seems the solution is a technology that was literally built from the ground up for security and for transparency. This is what we're calling the blockchain blueprint. So, what is a blockchain, really? At its heart, it's just a digital record book, but it has these 3 incredible superpowers. First, it's decentralized, so no single person or company owns it. Second, it's immutable, which is a fancy way of saying once a record is in there, it can never be changed. And third, it's transparent, so anyone can go and check it. It's basically a record book that's impossible to forge. Okay, so you have this unbreakable record book. How do you attach a record to one specific physical item? Well, that's where NFTs come into the picture. Forget about the art for a second. An NFT here is a totally unique, one-of-a-kind digital certificate on the blockchain. The best way to think of it is as a product's digital birth certificate, a permanent, verifiable proof of where it came from and that it's authentic. And when you put the old way and the new way side by side, wow, the difference is night and day. Centralized systems, they're vulnerable. Their data can be changed, and if one thing goes wrong, the whole system can come crashing down. Blockchain is the total opposite. The data is tamper-proof, the network is super resilient, and we shift from having to trust some central company to just trusting cold, hard, cryptographic proof. All right, so with that new foundation laid out, let's see how this whole thing actually works in the real world. Let's follow a product on its journey as it gets this brand new verifiable digital life using the Chain system. The process itself is surprisingly simple and elegant. It all starts when a manufacturer registers a new product. Right at that moment, a unique NFT, its digital birth certificate, gets created on the Polygon blockchain. Then a secure QR code is generated, and this is cool, it's cryptographically locked to that specific NFT. That bond is unbreakable. And then the final step, the moment of truth, you, the customer, just scan that tag and get instant, undeniable proof that it's real. Now, behind that simple process, there are 3 key layers making it all happen. You've got the chain layer, which is the foundation, the source of truth on the blockchain. Then there's the QRon resolver. That's kind of the brains of the whole operation. It turns your scan into this rich story. And finally, the QRon protocol, which is the system that actually rewards people for using it and helping to keep it secure. Okay, now let's zoom in on that final, most important moment, the point where a customer has the product in their hands. Because this is about so much more than a simple, yes, it's real, or no, it's fake. This is about turning that moment of truth into a whole experience. And check this out. This is what you actually interact with. Instead of some boring, ugly barcode, Chain uses these AI-generated QR codes that are basically little pieces of art. They're designed to look so cool that you scan them just because you're curious. It's this brilliant mix of super high security and a beautiful design, and it turns verifying something into an act that you actually want to do. And here's the really powerful part. When you scan that code, you're not just getting a little green check mark. You're unlocking the product's entire life story. I love how the source material puts it. AI turns history into a story you can see and trust. It really does make that product's journey just come to life in your hands. But this tech isn't just for us as consumers.
The exact same ideas that can verify a luxury handbag can totally revolutionize security for a huge company. So let's zoom out for a sec and look at the bigger picture for businesses. So traditionally, network security was like a castle with a moat around it. The thinking was, as long as you're inside the walls, you're trusted. But we all know if one bad guy gets inside, the entire kingdom is at risk. The new model, which this technology makes possible, is called zero trust. And the rule is simple: never trust, always verify. Every single user, every device, every request has to prove it's legit every single time. And hey, this isn't just a theory. The impact on businesses is real, and you can measure it. Companies that switch to this model are seeing identity fraud drop by up to 40%. And because they can automate all this verification, they're saving, on average, over $50,000 a year. That's real money. So what does that all translate to? How about an incredible 8.4 times return on investment? This isn't just about saving money, it's about creating value. By investing in this to stop fraud and counterfeit losses, businesses are seeing a massive return. It just proves that being proactive about security is way more profitable than cleaning up a mess later. So, where is all this going? I mean, it's bigger than just stopping fake products or securing a company's network. This is really about building an entirely new kind of economy, one that's based on truth you can actually verify. It's a vision for a much more authentic future. At the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. In our age of digital noise, deep fakes, and knockoffs everywhere, authenticity becomes the most valuable thing there is. It's the foundation for trust, for brand loyalty, for safety. It's everything. So I just want to leave you with this one thought to chew on. Imagine a world where it wasn't just luxury goods, but everything, from life-saving medicines to the critical parts in an airplane, had a permanent, unforgeable history that anyone could check with a simple scan. Just think for a second what that would mean for our safety and for our ability to trust the world around us. What kind of world could we build on a foundation like that?